First and foremost, man, I'm going to say all honor and praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and shalom to the sincere and elect out there, teaching out there on the highways of battles, the truth and sincerity, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I just saw this article online, man, and this is a crazy article, man. It says HTC to ask about a quarter of its global workforce, man. And for anyone who really knows, man, they're probably in the top 5 or 6 companies that produce phones, man. You know, they're actually right up there with, you know, Samsung, Apple, you know, Nokia and the things as such, man. But it says it's about to axe about a quarter of its global workforce, man. Smartphone maker HTC is about to cut 1,500 jobs in Taiwan, about a quarter of its global workforce. The job cuts are part of a realignment of resources. No, it's because you're broke, man. It says, if you skip here, it says the Taiwanese company has had a tough time competing with the likes of Apple and Samsung. The job cuts are the latest sign that HTC, once a major player in the smartphone market, is struggling to keep afloat in a competitive industry. Today's reduction in manufacturing workforce announced by HTC is a decisive step in the realignment of resources across the organization and will allow more flexible operations management, HTC said in a statement. HTC and Alphabet Google struck a $1.1 billion deal last year, a move that took some as a sign that HTC needed extra money to keep going. Under the deal, half of HTC smartphone research and development team, about 2,000 people, would go to Google, man. The company reported a 55.5% drop in April revenues year on year. So they've actually lost 55% of what they earn, man. That's why the workforce can't be kept afloat, man. You know, and that right there is what a sign, you know, according to the scriptures, man. Which I'm gonna get one. I'll get quick one on it, man. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, right? And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up the voice of a bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, right? And that basically the point where it says in the sound of no, actually, let me start from 3, man. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. So that's talking about, you know, these guys in Wall Street and things as such, man. You know, these guys who trade stocks and bonds, man. You know, that time period in which they shall tremble is when the whole global economic system comes to a complete end, right? And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders, right, cease because they are few. What's that talking about? You know, the only person will like, you know, grind a meal or something like that. So that's a form of work. But it says, and the grinders shall cease because there are few. I mean, a time period where it will come when people ain't gonna have work, and we've been seeing that though. You know, Starbucks, big companies closing down shops. HTC, a big company, is closing down shops. You know, because over here we have, you know, Poundland and Pound World is closing down shops. Poundland is on sale, man. It's on 50p sale and shit. You know? It says cease, you know, because they're few. And those who look out the windows be darkened, man. Yeah, you know, these are forecasters. You know these guys who prophesy things, you know, in a couple of years, this economy should stabilize. And no, it says that those windows shall be darkened, man. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low. And he shall rise up the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, man. And it's that, so that right there is a prime example, man. Once people lose jobs, it's a sign that the economy is coming to complete shit. And really, a time gonna come where the economy itself gonna be so fucked that everyone's gonna be unemployed, man. Right? When everyone's unemployed, man, that's when that purge spirit is coming out, man. You know, this is Second Esdras, man. Second Esdras, that's 15, and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you know, and so that's talking about that purge spirit, man. You know, that time period of race wars, man. Right? And look, man, when the food supply is short, when the fucking economy is through, yeah, you know, race wars, right? The actual major flashpoint of it is when they ain't no food or any form of money, you know. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men. That's right. So that's talking about what? Them rising up against the authorities, man. You know, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand up in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Look, there ain't going to be no lack of bread if you go to work, man. 9 to 5, you know, you're being paid. That they're going to be lack of bread when the economy's is shit, all jobs are cut off, and all food supply is cut off. Look, man, that day, like in the trailer of World War Z, man. You know, you actually see a fucking officer. He's sprinting into a shop, and then the people in the shop think he's gonna come arrest. He then pushed past the person in the aisle to try and go and get some food himself. Right? You know, hey, that day the actual police officers gonna be wearing a suit doing crime. Like, they're gonna give a fuck, man. Right? Because guess what? You know, the lack of bread, man. You know? And it's like, bro, that time of trouble is coming, man. This is, what's that? Second 16? Yeah, get it. I was going to get it, but get it.
It's 2 Esdras 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case.
And really, it's like, it's cheap now, because in comparison to what's coming, it's definitely cheap now. You know, when you go into the time period of the Weimar Republic in Germany, where like you actually needed like a barrel of cash to get one loaf of bread, man. It was that time period whereby when you go and eat in a restaurant, you would have to shake hands and agree a price, because by the time you might pick up that fork, the economy's has dropped so many points more.
Yeah.
Meaning the price gets inflated even more.
That's hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation. Go ahead.
Hey, and that word victuals, it goes into food or provisions. Type in victuals on Google. It just says food and provisions.
Yeah.
You know, and the point that you made about what Poundland's got a sale. 50p.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Poundland. They're selling shit half price.
Because you know, people are stupid. People think, no, if prices are dropping somewhere, that means somebody ain't getting paid. You know what I mean? If I own a company, right, and everyone's getting paid £25 an hour, then I drop it down to 10. There was a person whose lifestyle was accustomed to £25 an hour. You see what I'm saying there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it says, and then evils shall grow upon the earth.
Yeah.
The sword,
Yeah.
famine, and great confusion.
And that's all linked to what? Lack of bread. You know? Because look, there's small time companies closing every day, man. What happened to BHS, man? Woolworths.
Yep.
BHS got sold for £1. It actually got sold for £1, man. That actually can't even get you a pint, bruv. It was sold for £1.
And how much job losses was that?
Many.
So that's an example of the grind this season.
The grind is just season, man.
That's it.
Because they're few.
That's it.
You know?
There ain't no work to be done.
Man, do you know how many shops? Man, you know what? A fucking shoe zone. That's closing down, man. Then that's like the cheapest of the cheap, bro. Alright, man. You got something?
It says, for many, verse 22, for many of them that dwell on the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, and that sword is what? That martial law, that World War III, just any instrument of death, man. It could be beasts, you know, and that's coming, man. That's coming, man.
Or it could be someone fighting over that last bag of rice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Which when them riots was taking place in Tottenham, even though I personally wasn't involved in it, I was just a spectator. I personally saw Jakes. I saw fucking Eastern European men coming from the other side of town with a trolley to pack up food, man. People were stealing rice, man. People were getting down, man.
Yeah. You know? Hey, and that goes into what? For the lack of bread.
Lack of bread.
You know, neighbours, spoiling each other's houses. You know, that favourite neighbour that you used to have. You know, asking for that. You got sugar, mate. You know, he's going to turn around and just stab you up, man.
Yeah, and say hate shit.
Yeah, take everything that you got.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I've always liked your daughter. You know what I mean? There's no 999 in that day.
Shit, 999 trying to be good. She's probably going to try and call 999. You know?
That's right, man.
Alright, man. So, you know, unless you have a precept.
I got one more.
Cool.
2 Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
That's right. And that's right. That's right. So all of that is going to be linked in when the economy goes to complete shit, man. And people ain't going to have the ability of eating anymore, man. And then we will see the pride upon all these people's faces, man.
Yeah.
Cease.
But if I can say something, on the flip side of that, what does the Lord tell us to do, man? I'm going to read this. This is Luke 12:28.
Yep.
If then Yahweh so clothe the grass, which is of today in the field, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith?
That's it.
And seek not what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. You know what the scripture saying what, man? In Isaiah, he said, my servants shall eat.
Yep.
So don't even worry about this. The time of famine is going to come regardless, man.
Yep.
Jacob's trouble is Jacob's trouble. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you going to go through it, man. Yep. If you don't have Yahweh or Yahweh Shai with you, man, in that time, yo, you through, man. You know?
That's right. That's right, man. Hey, that's it, man. All right, man. So with that, we're going to say, honor and praise be to Yahweh Shai. That one is posted an elder of GreatMillStone. With that, we're going to say, shalom.